You ever see a silver Ford Explorer pull up slow three guys in matching dark polos and gear-laden belts like they're starring in some bad cop show, only the whole act just feels off? That was the first clue right there that our quiet life was about to get loud. They tried to scare my family out of our own home, but I guess no one warned them my dad was trained to dismantle terror networks for a living. Guess that's one HOA scam they should have skipped. I was out in the driveway that afternoon just cleaning out my old F-150 Sweat, mixing with the faint smells of motor oil and sawdust. Real American peace. You know, when these guys hop out and make a beeline for me. They weren't police, not even close. But they wanted the world to think they were badges clipped tactical gear, just screaming, "Take us seriously." The tallest one calls out, "Mr. Lomax, we need to talk about that vehicle," like he's a principal and I'm the kid who skipped algebra. I glanced up, spotted the seal on his badge, just a generic tree and stars, no county, no city, nothing. His chest puffed out like he was waiting for a salute. Inside, my wife Shanice and our daughter Leona were buried in biology homework, my son Bryson shooting hoops down the street. Family life interrupted. I wiped my hands and asked, "What about it?" Cool as I could, even as my pulse picked up. The leader flashes a smirk. "It violates community standards." White, mid-40s, close-cropped hair, he looked like someone who'd tell you he runs a tight ship. He starts in about complaints, says, "Trucks like mine don't belong here, not in a community like this." His boys behind him are already snickering. I just asked complaints from who. That made him squirm. "That's confidential. But you'll need to move it. Otherwise penalties." I almost laughed. "Penalties from who?" Last I checked, compliance officers don't carry fake badges or handcuffs. That one hit. The smirk slipped irritation flashing through. He tries to save face. "Watch yourself, Mr. Lomax. We don't want to escalate things." Right then the front door opens. Shanice steps out, mug of tea steady in her hands, eyes sharp as ever. "What's going on?" she asks. He turns on the charm. "Just making sure your family follows the rules for everyone's safety." Shanice shoots back, "Safety," from a pickup truck. The goons crack up one, muttering something under his breath about safety from him. I heard it. And let me tell you, 20 years in the field teaches you to spot men who hide behind bluster. I stared the mutterer down. "What did you just say?" He looked at his shoes. The leader waves it off. "Enough, Mr. Lomax. You've been warned. Don't make us take further action." They climb back in their SUV, act like they just shut down a riot, and roll away slow like they want me to watch. I stand there till they're gone. "Shanice," I say quietly, "those weren't from the HOA. She doesn't even blink." Figured as much. Sips her tea, but I see her hand shake. A minute later, Bryson jogs up, basketball tucked under his arm. "Dad, who were those guys?" They looked like cops. I give it to him straight. They weren't. If they come back, you and your sister stay alert. Don't talk to them. His face falls, but he nods. My family sees the look in my eye. They know when Dad's on edge, it's not nothing. Dinner that night, the house feels different. Our usual talk. Bryson's basketball, Leona's facts, Shanice teasing me for over-seasoning the chicken, all cut short. Every few minutes, Shanice glances at the window. Leona finally asks Daddy, why did those men sound like they were in charge if they weren't real officers? I put down my fork. Because people who want control pretend to have more power than they do. That's the oldest trick in the book. Bryson looks up, frowning. "So they're fakes, like criminals." "Not just fakes," I say. "They're organized. Dress the part, act the part. Hope folks don't ask questions." Shanice leans in, voice sharper. "They didn't come just about the truck. You saw how they looked at you like they'd made up their minds." I nod, which means we stay sharp. She gets it. She's seen this side of me before, the part left over from missions I never talk about. Leona's fork clinks. "Are they coming back?" "Yeah, I say they will." Shanice gives me a look. "You sound sure. People like that don't test you once. They're watching for weakness." The room gets real quiet. Bryson shifts in his seat. So what do we do? Just wait. I shake my head. You live your life. I'll handle them. But the truth is, I'm not sure yet how far this will go. After dinner, I stand on the porch, arms crossed, scanning the street like I'm back overseas. Every car, every porch light, every shadow, it all registers. Shanice comes out, sweater pulled tight. You're doing that thing again. What thing? That thing where you're not here, you're back in some place I can't see. I turn to her, drop my voice. I see patterns. That's how I kept my team alive. She looks at me strong as ever. And how do you keep us safe now without dragging us into that old world? By staying 2 steps ahead, I tell her. She sighs. I don't want the kids scared every time a car slows down. They won't be, I promise, because I'll end this before it gets that far. She nods and we go inside, but the air's changed. Even the neighbors can sense it. Next morning, I'm driving Bryson to practice catch. 2 neighbors across the street mid-conversation, but they freeze when they see me. One fiddles with her mail, the other pretends to check her phone. I know that look. Back home overseas doesn't matter. People see wrong, they look away. When I get back, Shanice is in the yard. Mrs. Callahan, the terrier lady, gives her a tight smile and bolts inside. Leona notices too. Mom, people are acting weird. Mrs. Keating didn't wave. Shanice bites her lip. You think they know? I shake my head. They're scared. Easier to pretend it's not happening. That afternoon, dragging trash to the curb, Don Avery rolls up. We've exchanged a few hellos before, nothing deep. He leans in, voice low. Those guys who came yesterday, they've been here before. Hernandez family down on Millbrook, same act. Porch furniture, so-called violations, scared them out. House went up for sale a week later. I frown. Nobody reported it. Don shakes his head. HOA says it's not. Them cops don't get involved unless it's violence. So people let it go. Let it go, I repeat. Tastes like defeat. Just don't push back too hard, Don warns. They can make your life hell. My voice goes flat. It's always worth it when your family's being targeted. He shrugs, drives off. Shanice and I talk about it that night. You're not surprised the neighbors don't speak up, are you? No, I admit. I've seen it everywhere. People convince themselves it's not their fight. What about us, she presses. What if no one stands with us, then I stand. That's enough. That night, curtains twitch, neighbors peek, then duck back. Their silence just makes those guys bolder. And sure enough, 2 days later, the explorer's back, this time blocking my driveway. No pretense. Shanice is unloading groceries when they swagger over. Clipboard, what I call the leader, now opens up with his usual, Mrs. Lomax, looks like nothing's changed. That's a problem. Shanice doesn't budge. My husband already told you your authority means nothing here. Clipboard steps closer, all menace. Means more than you think. Families who don't comply regret it. That's my cue. I step outside, still in running shorts, sweating, but I don't rush. I just stand there, drop the bag in the bin, and look right through him. You really need better props, I say. That seal's from a stock image. Badge clips don't match. If you're going to pretend, at least try. That rattles him. Think you're clever, huh? People here respect authority. That's why you're the only one giving us trouble. Or maybe everyone else figured paying you off was easier than standing their ground. That about right? His tall guy steps in. Careful how you talk to us. My voice stays even. Or what fake citation? Empty threats. Clipboard goes for intimidation. Word gets around about your army past. I stare right at him. Then you know why this is a mistake. He finally blinks first. Fine. We'll be back. Shanice whispers, You're provoking them. No, I'm showing them I see through them. That's the only language they understand. That night I'm at the kitchen table, legal pad out, writing every detail, license plates, patterns, phrases, slip-ups. Shanice comes down. You're not letting this go, are you? I look up. Would you? She shakes her head. No, but I'd be afraid. Fear keeps you sharp, I tell her. Panic gets you killed. Next day I buy cameras. Install them around the house, every angle covered. Shanice watches, arms crossed. More reminders. We're not safe. Reminders we're prepared, I say. I call an old buddy, Detective Renner, send him what I've got, footage, plates, details. He promises to run it. This isn't their first rodeo, he says. Let's see if we can break their streak. Wednesday afternoon, it all comes to a head. Shanice pulls into the driveway, Explorer already there. Clipboard and his cronies lean against the hood like they own the block. Shanice steels herself, gets out. Afternoon, Mrs. Lomax. Your husband around clipboards all syrup and thread. No, but I don't need him to tell you to get off our property. The short one smirks. That's the problem, folks. You don't always respect standards. She doesn't flinch. If you have an issue, take it up with the real HOA. I've seen the bylaws. Nothing you're saying is in there. Clipboard lowers his voice. Think bylaws are going to stop us. Just then my truck rounds the corner. Clipboard's swagger fades. I step out, calm as ever. You corner my wife, call that a reminder. His voice shakes a little. Don't twist it. We're just doing our job. I stand toe to toe. You're trespassing. 10 seconds to leave or I make a call that'll end this charade. He sneers, but his confidence is slipping. They back off, pile into the Explorer, peel out. Shanice is trembling, but proud. I held my ground. You did more than that, I tell her. You stood toe to toe. That night, as I review the camera footage, Bryson asks Dad, are you going to catch them? Like when you were a soldier. I look at my kids. My job was to protect my team. Now my team is you. Days go by. More drive-bys, more mind games. One night, camera catches one of them grinning straight into the lens, taunting us. Shanice's voice wobbles. They're not hiding anymore. Good, I say. Confident men make mistakes. Saturday night, the final showdown. Garage door cracked, cameras rolling. Clipboard and crew show up, envelopes in hand. Last warning clipboard says, voice flat. Sign or else what I ask, or else we make you move like all the others. Sirens cut through the night. Detective Renner's team rolls up, badges flashing. Clipboard's mask falls off in a heartbeat. You think this stops anything, he spits. You don't know how deep this goes. I meet his eyes steady. Deeper than you. But it starts with you. Cuffs, evidence bags, neighbors stepping out at last, some with respect, some with guilt. Mrs. Callahan apologizes, Don Avery too. You were right, he admits. I let them win by staying quiet. Now you know better, I say. Don't let it happen again. Not here. Not anywhere. News spreads. The arrests make the papers fraudulent, HOA enforcers, property scams, families terrorized. Renner calls. We're rolling up the bigger fish. Your footage gave us the missing link. I only say, good. A few evenings later, porch lights glowing, family all together. Bryson asks Dad, were you scared? I nod. Yeah, fear's normal. What matters is whether you let it control you. Leona leans in. So what's the lesson? I smile. When someone tries to intimidate you, stand firm. Ask questions. Don't let silence feed bullies. Shanice comes out with iced tea ads. Sometimes the scariest fights aren't overseas. They're right here, hidden behind fake authority. She's right. The air feels lighter now. Porch light flicks on, peace settling in for the first time in weeks. Remember, I tell my kids you don't have to be loud to be strong. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stand your ground. So here's my question for you. What would you do if it was your family, your street, your silence they preyed on? Speak up. Stand your ground. And if this story hit home, share your own, because strength doesn't come from intimidation. It comes from resilience and a community that refuses to stay quiet.